Michael Jordan just did not decide, I'll just hit 25 points a game, and that was it.
Hello, welcome to the final episode of R.O.O.F podcast within this year. It's the Christmas special. Season's greetings, everyone. We have a special episode and special guest today, Karthik Ganapathi. Hi, Karthik.
Hi, Ilya. Nice to be here, and season's greetings to everyone. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Really exciting to have you here.
Same here.
It's a peak of our podcast, probably a peak of my career as an interviewer.
Peak of my career as an interviewee.
Oh, shit. Can you share a bit some facts about yourself? Maybe like what was your dream job when you were 10 years old or something like that?
I'd say I can share some of my background, but just like anyone else, didn't sit and map out my career when I was 10. I would say one thing that really excited me was to be an astronaut. In the good old days of Star Trek and Star Wars and everything, going to space sounded a lot of fun. And we are creating new payment terminals, which is also fun.
Cool. And now we're here.
And we are here. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll talk about the results of 2023, obviously. We'll also talk about the future. We'll talk about the way our industry can transform in the next couple of years. So I'm really eager to start. We ready?
I'm ready. It's exciting.
Let's go.
Let's go.
First challenge for today, and that's my favorite, legendary 24/7 challenge with Karthik Ganapathi. I'm really, really excited. Looking forward. We had some people who were actually hitting 24 seconds. That was once. So let's see what happens in the next couple of seconds.
Yeah, let's roll.
All right, you're ready?
Yes.
Art or science?
Science.
EV or hydrogen?
EV.
Manned or unmanned?
Unmanned.
The best advice you were given in your life?
Get on this podcast.
The worst advice you were given in your life?
Listening to that best advice.
What is your superpower?
Being tenacious.
Market leader in redefining the convenience together.
Invenco by GVR.
Awesome. 25 seconds. Super close. What was the most difficult question to answer?
I think it's the best advice.
The best advice. So many good advices that you've had within your career.
It's hard to say. You cannot, in anyone's life, you cannot pinpoint one thing that changed their life. It's a continuum, right? It's just like a marathon. Every step you're improving. Every step you know what's happening.
And you've answered science versus art. Can you unpack that a little bit?
I mean, it's always been, right from my childhood, it's always been astronomy, stars. That's what drew me.
Mm-hmm.
And the very fact I grew up in India and Star Trek was a big TV show. Of course, massive influence from Captain Kirk and gang.
Okay.
All right, peace out, man. I mean, that's been an influence. And then I was naturally gravitated towards science. And again, being scientific doesn't mean you don't appreciate art. It's about the mindset of having scientific inquiry and always willing to doubt yourself first and willing to test hypotheses and try to get to good outcomes.
That's true. Yeah. If I would try to answer it myself, I would probably at some point of my life will answer definitely science. But then something I've learned recently is that when you want to do some like a big step into anything, you need to learn to unlearn.
Yeah.
And I was trying to push myself to unlearn with these scientific methods and being super nerdy in terms of facts, figures, data.
Yeah.
And I think that currently art is an answer, at least for me.
If you want to pin me down and say this is it, it's life or death, choose one.
That's exactly what it is. 24/7 challenge with Karthik Ganapathi.
Yeah.
2023 was a pretty big year for Invenco by GVR. So how would you describe it in one word?
Exhilarating, I think.
Exhilarating.
Yeah. It's just been a very fascinating ride over the last 12 months or so as we set about creating retail solutions and then going through and figuring out how we bring together the different ways of working into one company. And in the process, really send the message to everyone that we are a technology powerhouse. And we will be charting the future for convenience retail. And that's what led to the branding. And that's what led to the building of Invenco by GVR, bring the best of a tech forward type brand along with the strong legacy of GVR, combine them together and create this formidable force in the industry. And I think we have been fairly successful. If you just look back on everything we have accomplished in the last 12 months or maybe 9 months this year, it's been really, really amazing just to step back and see what we have done, from building a team that is really scalable, building processes that are scalable, figuring out scaled agile in the organization.
Yeah, well, I have few questions about that a bit later, but yeah.
And then look at all the wins we have had in the marketplace. It's endorsement from the customers between Shell, Chevron, Galp. I think it's all coming together. There are things we need to work on, we need to improve, which will be continuous improvement. We'll keep at it. Overall, I think it's been a very, very strong start for someone who decides that we want to be the technology powerhouse.
Yeah. So if I ask you, what is the most important achievement out of all those things you have mentioned, a part of supporting creation of this podcast, obviously, but
which is a given. It's always the case.
Yeah. So what would be your answer if you just pick one? What's your favorite out of those things you have just named?
I think just getting product strategy right for the company and creating this vision of, the ideas were there before. We have talked about this in the past. But how do we create this integrated offer of technology that solves critical customer problems? And now we are creating the right contours around it. And of course, when I say product, it's customer back to engineering forward. It's all together, right? You're pulling it all together, but driving that sort of common thread across. That's fascinating to see it all come together on a weekly basis and how teams are energized or on a day-to-day, you're seeing that impact. And I know people are putting long hours to get there, but that's the cost of transformation. It's hard to do transformation doing a 8-to-5 job.
So if I would try to answer this question as an insider, for me, I would probably say that the most exciting thing that I saw this year was probably the cultural shift that we've seen, and something you've called out as well. So how to keep the core DNA of the big, well-established organization and add the twist to be much more agile, and to do that at that scale in such a limited period of time. I don't want to sound cheesy, but that's like Mission Impossible kind of thing. So what's the secret sauce here?
I'll echo that. The point is, I think we have talked about this in our leadership teams, in our management teams, etc. I've not seen in my history, in my career, of course, that's my lens, but in my lens of my career, I have not seen a company transform to becoming fully agile in a 9-month period, meaning it's 3 PIs. I think we have accomplished something amazing here, and it's a blueprint on how we should drive transformation in organization. No transformation happens without the people who are driving it, and if folks are not signing up for it, it's dead on arrival.
It's kind of a static picture, right? But if you think from the dynamic perspective, like what's the maximum potential? How close is Invenco by GVR to the maximum of its capacity?
I think we are very close, actually. The flywheel is spinning and it's moving faster and faster. I think we just have to hit that escape velocity, and it'll happen soon. And if we keep doing what we are doing and improve every sprint, every 2 weeks, every week, it's the same thing. That's the beauty of following this approach is I'm not changing things every month or every 3 months. All I have to do is repeat, rinse and repeat, but do it faster. And automatically you will hit the escape velocity. And And that's what's really exciting, because we are seeing all of these things come together. I mean, the biggest thing I didn't even mention, which was launching of the Invenco terminal, the FlexPay 6, the NFX integrating into POS. The work that's going on, it's just amazing to see.
Indeed. So how, in general, you define success? How do you set targets for the organization and for the teams?
I mean, I'll give you my personal answer on that. I need to be satisfied that I did a good job. So I am my best judge. And I am my harshest critic as well. So that's how I operate. I know it's different for different folks. And even targets limits you. I know we have to deliver targets. I know we have to make sure we hit our numbers. That's your say-do. That's your commitment and what you deliver. All accepted. It's a given. That's sort of the rules of the game on how to play. But if you step back, targets do not make you operate at your full potential. I think it has to come from within.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
And then you become the best at. I mean, I don't know. Pick Michael Jordan just did not decide. I'll just hit 25 points a game, and that was it.
Well, actually, he did. If you watch the series about him.
Yeah, but the thing is, he would go on and on, right? And I mean, this is true for any top athlete. I don't think they set limits so that they can get there, but they don't stop there, right? You just have to keep pushing and see how far you can go.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. Jordan just didn't.
Yeah, he just always went to the other team and say, "I'll drop 40 today."
Yeah. But that's different, though. That's more. That's not a target for himself. When he says he drops 40, he would have dropped 50 at the end of the game. He didn't stop after doing 40 and just go sit on the bench.
The next game for you is the playoff, where I'll give you 8 different options, and I'll ask you to give some flavor and give your feedback about who is winning in quarterfinals, semifinals, and in the finals. And we'll talk about the evolution of petrol station and convenience retail in general, because there are so many speculations of how it can evolve. So probably in the next 5 minutes, we'll finally solve the problem and give the answer.
Man, we are here to solve problems. That's our mantra.
Awesome.
And we are playing March Madness in December, so that's good too.
Cool. So the first quarterfinal, autonomous. When we're talking about the probably 10 years perspective, right? Because no one knows what will happen in 50 years or 100 years. We're talking about 10 years perspective. So the first pair, quarterfinals, autonomous stores and car wash services.
Car wash services.
Why? It's very close to the state of the industry today, right? There is not so much of a disruption.
Not much of a disruption. And I would say car wash services become a very natural adjacency, or even an offer. I wouldn't even call it an adjacency. An additional offer that drives value at that convenience site, because there is real estate and you need to make money out of that real estate. And added services and features, car wash gives a lot of bang for the buck. If there is a space and capability to do that on the site, I think it'll happen.
Yeah, and regardless what kind of engine you use, car wash will always be there, right? So the next quarterfinal, quick service restaurant versus car maintenance service.
Oh, that's an interesting one. So this is again at the convenience site.
And let's imagine the very average convenience station in the center of the city, not on the highway, not a specific niche segment, but just a classic general one.
I would say quick service wins there. And the reason is simple, because usually folks have some kind of a trusted mechanic type relationship, and or they go back to the dealer, etc. So again, going with the same theme of if I have to drive throughput in my convenience site, I want to generate as much transactions as possible on every person that's coming to the site. So naturally, the share of wallet goes up if I throw in an additional feature, which is food.
Yeah, the only problem if you're surrounded with the McDonald's and Burger
Of
Kings
course.
and Pizza Huts of this world, that
Yeah.
can be a problem.
But the biggest battle is, or the biggest victory is the first step. You're already there at the store. Getting people into the store is the biggest battle. That you've got that. So
that's an advantage, USP.
Yeah.
Next quarterfinal, mobility sharing point versus co-working spaces.
That's an interesting one. I'm not sure if people will drive to a site to sit in a co-working space. Because most of them have post-COVID, or COVID actually got everyone to start thinking about working from home and working from anywhere. And I mean, we are seeing that in across industries in cities. So I do feel that there may be continued pressure on co-working spaces in that mobility hub area. Because again, think of it, I'm sure there is a niche opportunity there, but think of all the different convenience sites that are there, and how many of them will convert to a co-working space. And I know we are talking 10 years from now, which technology would have also had leapfrogged a lot of things. We don't even know what's going to come in 10 years.
Okay.
So that's why I think by elimination, I'm picking the mobility sharing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And final one, energy storage, microgrids versus last mile delivery.
I would think last mile delivery will win here. Because again, in the theme of convenience, you would see more and more effort going into the last mile delivery. And the mode of delivery could be anything. Could be autonomous like drones, or could be what we see now.
And then also the e-mobility share and e-commerce share is growing. I think it reached 20% this year across the globe.
And it will keep growing.
It will keep growing.
That's the nature of it. Best convenience is everything shows up at your house. So that's the natural end point, I guess.
All right. So we've got semi-finalists. So the first semi-final, car wash versus quick service restaurant.
Wow, this is interesting one. This is like a toss-up.
Yeah, it's like Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah. Let's see. I think quick service will win in this. And it will be a very close fight.
Now, mobility sharing point versus last mile delivery.
Again, very interesting. Last mile will win, I think, still, because with the bias for convenience.
It's interesting. So we have in the final QSR and last mile delivery, like something that is kind of far from the core of petroleum retail in general.
Which is, I mean, I think it's fit with the theme, right? We know there is energy transition happening. We know a lot of changes are happening. And both of these are almost the sort of bookends of changes that we are going to see. Is how do you keep people in the store or in the site? And there's another side where no one wants to come to the site and they all want to sit at home and receive things. So it's, but at heart, I feel in this punch up, at heart, I feel it'll be the stomach wins over everything. So
QSR is the winner of the tournament. I feel hungry right now. I would like to have a burger.
Well, it's, I mean, again, by the QSR definition will change in 10 years. So we have to qualify that.
Okay.
Right? It's going to be more healthy or more almost modern coffee shop, those type of things versus
more of a sustainable message and
versus what you would think a greasy burger, right? So I think that part will change for sure.
What role does technology in general play in convenience retail and petroleum retail? Because sometimes I feel like we're a bit biased because we are very deep into technology. And how is that really important for convenience retailers?
Let's forget convenience retail for a second. What's happening in general across industries in our lives? you see increasing reliance on at least one device that we know, which is our phone.
I thought you were talking about FlexPay 6, but okay.
Which will be the phone. So that's one. And then the other is, there is labor shortage. The pressures on finding people, talent that will work and handle all the complexities. And the third is complexity itself, because we talked about all kinds of different services. And just each one of those brings in an element of complexity. And on top of it, layer the amount of data that's being passed through across in that one site, right? Forget a network of sites, just that one site. And everyone's it's the tip of the iceberg still. People are understanding what it means of folks getting that information, both from consumers who are giving that information and the richness of the information that is being collected. Technology will be the fundamental driver of changing how this industry operates. And we haven't even gone into regulations and complexities that they introduce, and the ability to actually introduce new features, extend services, extend solutions, all that. But just looking at the macro trends, it's very clear technology will be the driver.
Sustainability.
Yeah.
So how real is that? I mean, a lot of companies are talking about sustainability, and I'm not sure all of them really have a powerful solution to address sustainability in general.
Yeah, see, we have solutions that help companies, our customers manage their whole ESG objectives, right? Even we are in the business of dispensing fuel, and there is a environmental piece we have to keep an eye always. And so solutions we have that help solve for that on the gasoline side. But when it comes next, as we go more and more into next waves of energy and alternate fuels and electricity, each of those come with some degree of impact on your immediate surrounding need.
What is the role of Invenco by GVR in the future of mobility in broader sense?
I think we are at the heart of it. There is no debate. There is no one in the industry who is able to actually help our customers solve across the board on issues that they are facing. I think it's a great time to be in this industry, and specifically in Invenco by GVR, because the next few months, next few years is going to really change the course of this industry.
Yeah, speaking about the next year, so what is the single most exciting thing that you have in your mind for the next year? What makes you feel excited about 2024?
It's actually, from concept, the composable commerce is actually becoming a reality. We have started unbundling our POS, we are putting NFX in it. So together, you suddenly have a really compelling offer to our customers. And again, we didn't build it for the sake of building it. We are building it based on what customers are asking. So starting there, and then we are figuring out what is core for the industry, what is specific for the customer, and then making sure we are allocating resources. And orchestrating all of this, right? So there's the customer, there's the product, there's our people, and there is a process that stitches all this together. Now, how do you bring all of it together is what excites me every day.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I'm looking forward to 2024. And you should give me a promise in 1 year from now, end of 2024, we gather again, and we'll talk about the last year.
We shall do a true retrospective.
Awesome. Thank you very much. The first year of R.O.O.F podcast comes to an end. Wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, season's greetings, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye. Have fun.